Since tonight's episode of Storytime is going to be cross-country themed, how about some Highway Star? Hello everyone, Bill Moe here, and welcome to episode 12 of Storytime. Today we will talk about my relatively chaotic cross-country career up to now. Where things are not chaotic in my life. So, as you all know, I started cross-country in 6th grade. Being the cocky bitch I was back then, I thought, go out there and win and beat that sorry beep. Very first practice, I found out I was so wrong. Very, very wrong. After the first practice, I limped back to the car, out of breath, and ready to throw up. After about 2 weeks of torture, the very first race came along. It was at Anthem Park, which is a rec center in Commerce City. Being that I actually learned about the hell that I was cross-country, I started at the back. See? Training can work. Believe it or not, as the race started, I was just waiting for somebody to scream, "Boogity, boogity, boogity. Start this motherfucking race." Believe it or not, I actually paced myself in the first few thousand feet, till some retard thought it was a good idea to stop right smack in the middle of the track to tie his damn shoes. I went around him in the process and ran some other Landmark kid off into the dirt. I went to Foundations, Landmark was our rival. I may have pissed him off in the process because he kept trying to trip me and come back at me. I let him by me by preventing any further chance of trouble and shit to happen, but keeping the thought of goes around, comes around, fuckwad, embedded in the back of my mind. Being that I blew my shit trying to run him down and return the favor and pay him back, I spent most of the race limping my way around. Afterwards, when we were leaving, I saw the same kid that I almost drove into a trash can. He gave me the look of, game on, bitch. The remaining races of my freshman cross-country year were hell on steroids. The race at Anthem Park, the first time, was fucking cold. Atlanta, 2015, cold. Yeah, it was that cold. Who knew Anthem Park was the home of the future high school I would go to instead of Brighton? Who knew? It was cold. I kept shivering during the race because I had my really flimsy cross-country hoodie. I kept shivering going, shit, it's cold! The second time around was toward the end of the year when it was warmer, with a hill that I found out which was affectionately dubbed Homer. Well, Homer, you are a fucking piece of shit and you can suck my dick. The dirt wasn't packed in very well, so I'm trying to parkour up the hill and try to jump up and try to sprint up the hill like the badass that I am. So later that summer I then thought, damn, cross country isn't about sticking it to the other guy. There aren't much highlights from the 7th grade season, but the very first practice, as you know, it was in like early March. It was pretty cold. And apparently the hoodie was wearing me down. So crew chief moment. I had a huge Larry McReynolds moment, flipped the hood back, and suddenly became incredibly IndyCar aerodynamic. I also kept up with the leaders too, so that was also a bonus. They were all girls too. That was a double bonus. On the way back, we had to shoot across the highway between the school and the neighborhood we ran through, and then it started to falter. I thought, fuck, not now. Consider this, I didn't have a large gap on the girls too, so it was like me and then the pack. It's like restrictor plate racing on steroids. I didn't want to get away from people, you know. Next thing you know, I was basically fair game to run over. The races weren't memorable that year, but this was the last year we ran Anthem. First time around with the hill, same configuration, still sucked. There was a motocross track we ran as the championship race, and holy shit, it was really, really cold that day. So I had a jacket on with some pretty kick-ass aviators too, so I'm Terminator. There was a hill at the end, which is a motocross track. It was a hill that reminded me a lot of Mario Kart Wii's Rainbow Road, where it was downhill at the start, except it's uphill at the end. There was one section where it was like straight down, and I had to use the heels of my feet, the balls of my feet to stop. Kind of pathetic. The hill was straight at the end was straight uphill, and it sucked. Fast forward to 8th grade, aka the year everything died. Well, the idiot gym teacher / athletic director decided to pull a basketball and schedule 4 races. She couldn't have waited all summer. Considering my luck, I was able to run 2. The very, very first practice, on the way back, I slipped in some ice and face planted, as in I tripped and landed face first. My shirt was a muddy mess. My jacket, thank God, my jacket was a muddy mess, and my pants were caked in shit. I didn't feel the payback and the pain until a week later. The payback was, it hurt to walk. I'd take a step and think, oh, son of a bitch. When I landed and hit, people around me thought I pulled a Kyle Busch and broke both my legs. Ironically, I sat out the very first race because I didn't want to pull a Kyle Busch. And it was at Reunion 2. It was one of my favorite courses from middle school. One of my favorite middle school courses. So the next race I ran was at Brownlee East Charter School, which is basically Holy Family for little kids. So before the race, I played Jet Black Stare and got it pumping. Believe it or not, it worked. I passed a kid at the start and seriously thought he died. I looked behind me because I looked left and right to see who's coming behind me and keeping them behind me. He wasn't there. During the race, I realized the course designer sucked at making a course. The walkway to the parking lot cut right through the track. As in, there's one example. I'm cruising along, so one of my teammates was leaving because her race was done. And my main thought was, the way she was going, I was coming, she was coming, I'm thinking, shit, I'm thinking, shit, I'm gonna run you over, get the fuck out of the way. Surprisingly, after I half jogged, half stopped, and scuffed the hell out of my shoes, she said, "Go, Dylan!" I then thought, you won't be disappointed. Get ready for a kick-ass performance. As the final lap had begun, I looked back and said, holy shit, where is everybody? Because I thought the race was over and I was the only dude on the track. I seriously thought that. Frankly, it was kind of embarrassing. As in, my other guy behind me was probably in fucking Hudson by now. So I started jogging in. Eventually, there were a group of chicks on the side of the course that were cheering everybody on. They thought it'd be a hell of an idea to run me in. I still love them. They're great people. They're great people. It wasn't just one or two of my buddies, because the first people that sprung up was my buddy Lucas, and I think, oh cool, bring it home, buddy. Get me to bring it home. Because I'd gladly outrun them. It was the whole fucking team. I half yelled, half screamed, holy shit! I didn't expect that many people behind me. I'm like, when did this suddenly become Talladega? And they were at the end of the course too, so I'm basically taking monster steps on the way in. In the last 500 feet, I then started yelling, look out guys, I can't stop if I hit you, this isn't my fault. I used the again scuffed heels of my shoes to stop me from taking out the score table. The next race was at the Justice Center not far from my house. So I got head PE bumping before the race started. That day was pretty windy. On the way in the last lap, I tried to kick it in overdrive technique I tried last week. Apparently yearbook was there, and by the wonders of photography, they caught me ripped, as in my muscles were just flexing like crazy, as in my arms were stiff, I was literally grabbing my fists like crazy and running in. My pecs right here were stretched out, and then my legs were basically stiffed, and they were showing off my leg muscles too. And by the wonders of photography, I looked so ripped. No, I'm not setting it as a picture for a dating profile, dumbasses. I already have a girlfriend. There was a third race at a golf course I ran that year. It was pretty crappy weather, so I'm sitting there on the side of the hill watching the weather just get worse right in front of us. I'm wondering, damn, how are we going to get this race in? What scared the shit out of me was a lightning strike that was pretty fucking loud. It was far away, but the sound felt like it was right there in my ear. Eventually, the people running it, who actually had a brain running it, herded us all inside. Inside the golf house with 99% of the kids smelling like ass. But to be fair, they did run a race. It's a damn shame that good, fun sports program had to be run to shame by an idiot. But now we can't bitch forever. We move on to high school. FYI, the summer workouts sucked ass. They were fucking brutal. Also, I got this nice, swag, dank Redline camp shirt that I'm wearing tonight. As in, this episode is brought to you by Redline Camp. established in 2008. These are a lot of fun, but at the same time, they suck. The very first race came around. I did the usual way. I did for getting pumped up and ready to roll for a race. Ugh. Blast some Waka Flocka flame until I'm deaf. You, not you, Man, I hope they play that song for Sadie's. The race started at Holy Family, which, if you don't know, is a Catholic school. Holy ever loving crap, this race was crazy. At the start, I left a huge cloud of dust along with about 150 plus racers. During the early stages of the race, there was a group of 3 people in front of me taking out the lake, which was pretty narrow. It was like Daytona narrow, where you have room for 3 wide, but if you make 4 wide, it could get pretty intense and pretty tight. I saw a hole, juked to the left of about 3 guys, filled it, and proceeded to scare the shit out of the coach in the process. As in, I almost tanked it in the ditch. Also, I proceeded to pass about 9 or 10 people in one shot at one section of the course. Someone freaked out, apparently, stopped, and I blew by them. My reaction, the fuck is going on? So the race was basically me cruising all the way home. I then shot an uphill section of the course, hung a sharp left, and hauled ass down to the bottom of the hill thinking, finally this race is over. Thank God. Apparently I was wrong. Like other high schools, there is a track and field. As in, it was a curve and they wanted you to go to the right. I then thought, fuck. So, instead of bitching, I booked it like Clint Boyer to the line and just dropped to the ground. Some of my friends from Foundations were just like, oh my God. Shit. A week later, the next race was a polar opposite. The beginning, however, was very similar to the last one. I was in a pack of about 12 or 14 people, so your typical Daytona pack. I saw a hole, went for it, and almost got wrecked by someone. It was at a golf course. I got passed by a dude who was husky at the end. He was husky. A macho man starting to develop a 6-pack, getting owned by a fat guy. During some of the practices, like the week before, I heard someone who would be my soon-to-be girlfriend out in the rain. The emotions coming over me were embarrassment, shock, and it also scared the shit out of me. My reaction of, who the fuck was that? During the awards, certain grades screwed me out of the rest of the season. During the awards, I was joking with the coach about I plan to be full-time next year in cross country because grades screwed me. Moral of the story. Being cocky can bite you in the ass, but at the same time, if you hunker down, you can be a force to be reckoned with out on the track. Like this video if you enjoyed. Comment on this video. Follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and on Google+. If you like this video, please enjoy. Share this with your friends. And if you want to end this video here, because it's going to be shitty whiteboard dancing, end it here.